Hi, I'm Mercedes Marassi, and I want to talk to you today about endorsements. I think it's important that we look at the candidates in this election and ask ourselves who is actually endorsing and supporting them. I'm endorsed by several groups, but I want to talk today about two in particular. The first is the West Side Gazette, and the West Side Gazette is a Black owned newspaper. It is, in fact, the oldest African American newspaper publication in Broward County. The West Side Gazette has been a strong voice for the Black community. They are a dedicated group of advocates that work to make sure their community is informed and represented. They also have consistently spoken out against the lies and racial bias that exists within Broward County Public Schools. Second, we have Moms for Liberty. And Moms for Liberty is a nonpartisan advocacy group for parental rights and education. This group was started by two former school board members who had a deep knowledge of all the problems in the educational system, and they said, no, we need a change. So Moms for Liberty has had a significant presence in local school boards across the country as they advocate for transparency, accountability, and parental involvement in every aspect of the child's life. I mean, both of these organizations have a deep care and commitment to the community. They both actively seek the truth. They both desperately want change. They both also recognize the real need for a mental health expert on our school board, especially at a time like this where we have a mental health crisis on our hands. So that's why both of them have endorsed me as their District 7 candidate for the Broward County School Board. I think that most would agree. They would say, yes, Broward County School Board does need an expert in mental health. I mean, the board members, the teachers, the administrators, they're constantly talking about mental health and how important it is that we address it. So that being said, isn't it interesting that some of the organizations that claim to care so much for mental health never even allowed me the opportunity to sit for an endorsement interview? So neither BTU nor BPAA gave me the opportunity to interview for endorsement, but they weren't the only ones. Several other organizations that claim to have our best interests in mind wouldn't even give me the time of day. So how is it that these groups of people, like teachers and principals, refuse to interview the one candidate for the school board that is an actual expert in mental health? I find that highly suspect. To me, organizations like BTU are part of the problem. They are the establishment. They, just like the current school board members, like to use buzzwords like mental health to pander to their base. But they don't actually care. They only care about maintaining the status quo, and they only care about themselves. They don't actually care about mental health. They don't actually care about the community. And isn't it obvious? They don't actually care about these kids. So I think it's time to look at your candidates and ask yourself, who is endorsing them? Who is funding them? Do these candidates have a deep-seated interest in the well-being of children? Or are they candidates that are backed by the establishment that are just going to give us more of the same? I'm not supported by the establishment. I'm not supported by any politician. I'm supported by real people who really care.